The Northman is a 2022 American epic historical fiction film directed by Robert Eggers, who co-wrote the screenplay with Sjón, based on the legend of Amleth. The film stars and co-producer Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Claes Bang, Anya Taylor-Joy, Ethan Hawke, Björk, and Willem Dafoe. The plot follows Amleth, a Viking prince who sets out on a quest to avenge the murder of his father. Skarsgård had wanted to make a Viking film for several years, and Eggers decided to make the film his third project after the pair met to discuss possible collaborations. Much of the cast joined in October of 2019, and filming took place on locations throughout Northern Ireland and Iceland from August to December 2020. The Northman had its world premiere in Stockholm at the Regato Cinema on March 28, 2022. It began its theatrical release in some countries on April 13, 2022, and was released theatrically in the United States on April 22nd. The film received critical acclaim, particularly praise aimed at its direction, production values, and performances of the cast. However, it failed at the box office, having only grossed $58 million worldwide, against a $70 to $90 million budget. The film stars Alexander Skarsgård as Amleth, a Viking warrior prince, Oscar Novak as young Amleth, Nicole Kidman as Queen Gudrun, Amleth's mother, Claes Bang as Volnir the Brotherless, Amleth's uncle, and Orvadel's brother, Anya Taylor-Joy as Olga of Birch Forest, a Slavic sorceress, Ethan Hawke as King Orvadel, Warraven, Amleth's father, and Fionora's brother, Willem Dafoe as Helmer the Fool, and Björk as Cirrus, a prophet. Born to a Swedish family, Alexander Skarsgård has been fascinated with Viking history and mythology since his childhood, and had long sought to make a Viking-themed project with the help of producer Lars Knudsen. In 2011, Skarsgård was attached to the Warner Brothers epic with the working title The Vanguard, which ultimately did not materialize. Robert Eggers became interested in making a Viking film following a 2016 trip to Iceland with his wife, Alexandra Skarsgård, who is a fan of Old Norse sagas. During the trip, Eggers met Björk, who in turn introduced Eggers to Sjón. In 2017, Skarsgård met Eggers to discuss future projects, but the discussion quickly turned to Viking Age-themed film. Eggers subsequently reached out to Sjón, and the two began researching and writing the screenplay. The story of the Northman was based primarily on the legend of Amleth, as written by Danish historian Saxo Grammaticus, known as the direct inspiration for William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Now, this is a fascinating visual feast in many ways, and visually it can really be called a masterpiece. It is very dark, heavy, and violent, and not for the faint-hearted. And it is quite abstract, and there are parts that you feel the writers and even the director, Mark Eggers, were living the hallucinations they were portraying on screen. It certainly doesn't flow in a normal way or play out in an atypical historical epic. Instead, it plays out through visions and hallucinations, almost as if it's playing more through to the Norse mythology side than actual Norse history. Fundamentally, though, this story is a tale of revenge. It is set during the often misunderstood Viking Age, pagans with almost barbaric-like culture, where only the strongest survived, yet they dominated their age with an iron fist as they ruled over many other tribes in the world. Now, Alexander Skarsgård is super intense as Amleth, and he fills the screen with his presence, and not to mention his fantastic physique, which makes him more than believable as a Viking warrior prince hell-bent on fulfilling his fate of avenging his father. It was interesting to see Kidman in this role, a huge step away from her other roles of late, but she continues to show her versatility as an actress. I found Claes Bang excellent as Fjord the Brotherless here. Even though he's the antagonist in the film, he has a side to his story which is interesting to see play out, and it's up to you to decide whether he's in the bad or in the good. I really enjoyed Anya Taylor-Joy in this, though. I think she continues to impress in every role that she plays in. She is an incredibly versatile actress, and she likes to challenge herself with incredibly demanding roles. I also found her chemistry with Alexander Skarsgård quite frankly magic as they play out on screen. It just works perfectly within the context of the film. Ethan Hawke and Willem Dafoe aren't in the film very long, but boy, they make the most out of their time, with very much over-the-top intense performances, but exactly required of what's needed of them. The spiritual ceremony is odd and strange and frankly just weird to see play out, yet it really is engrossing. Robert Eggers is a fascinating director, from his previous works being The Acclaimed Lighthouse, and here he brings his sense of art inspiration to this big-budget, historical epic. I can see why, however, this film didn't really attract the mass audiences. It is very introspective and does not hold up to your initial impression of what you might see when watching the trailer. This is a very well-crafted, intense, violent, unconventional, and almost psychedelic delving into the confines of the mysterious and enigmatic Viking history, as well as diving in to their Norse mythology and their gods who they believed in so dearly. Viking customs and beliefs have always been complex and different, and so foreign to our modern society, yet that of course is what drives us to be so curious about them. The Northman as a whole is a very well made film, visually impressive and well acted, and therefore it gets an 8 out of 10.